Welcome to the Walls of Ilium, myth and reality of the Trojan War, a journey 3,000 years in the making. For 3,000 years, one story has defined the Western concept of heroism, the Trojan War. It began not with politics, but with a woman named Helen. Our primary source for this epic conflict is Homer's Iliad, a poem that vividly describes a decade of conflict between the Achaeans and the Trojans. The catalyst was the infamous Judgment of Paris, leading to the abduction of Helen from Sparta and the shattering of the peace between East and West. This act of betrayal spurred the gathering of the greatest Achaean kings, the mighty Agamemnon, the rage of Achilles, and the cunning strategist Odysseus. With a fleet of over 1,100 ships, the Greeks arrived at the gates of Troy, commencing what would become a brutal, decade-long siege, the heart of the heroic age. Troy's walls, said to be built by the gods themselves, were impenetrable. The war quickly devolved into a stalemate of bloody, repeated skirmishes beneath those massive defenses. The conflict's centerpiece was the clash between two titans, Hector, the noble protector of Troy, versus Achilles, the unstoppable force of Greek rage. Crucially, the gods were not spectators. Athena, Poseidon, and Hera fought alongside the Greeks, while Apollo and Aphrodite protected the city of Troy. After the death of Achilles, the Greeks realized brute force would fail. They needed a strategic stroke, a dolon or trick, to breach the walls. It was Odysseus, the master strategist, who conceived the infamous Trojan horse. The Greeks pretended to retreat, hiding their ships near the island of Tenedos. The Trojans were wary, but their fate was sealed when they ignored the dire warnings of the prophetess Cassandra. The horse was brought inside. Under the cloak of midnight, the hidden Greeks emerged, opened the city gates, and the once mighty jewel of Asia was set ablaze in a slaughter that ended the war. But was this grand conflict merely a poem? For centuries, historians dismissed the Trojan War as purely myth, until the mid-19th century. In the 1870s, Heinrich Schliemann, using Homer's descriptions as a map, began excavations at Hisarlik in Turkey, unearthing the ruins of a great city. Modern archaeology confirms the site has 9 layers of civilization. Notably, Troy VI and VIIA show signs of significant warfare and destruction around 1200 BCE, matching the time of the legend. The historical view suggests the war was less about a single woman and more about controlling vital trade routes and access to the rich Black Sea markets. Whether a decade of myth or a century of economic conflict, the Trojan War story remains our greatest narrative of human pride, love, and the tragedy of war. It provides the foundation for Western storytelling, teaching us enduring lessons about ambition, honor, and the terrible cost of vengeance. The walls of Troy fell, but the names of Hector and Achilles live forever. Thank you for watching.